Hello everybody, my name is Xlamator on Blitz. This video is going to be a huge one. It's going to be a long video and it's for different reasons. So first of all, I'm going to separate it to different chapters if I can. Chapter number 1 will be about the E100 and the day 7s, like the title. Like, you know, I spent a week playing E100 and this is what I learned. It's going to be basically explaining what happened during those days. Unfortunately, I don't have any replays. I apologize for that. Then I'll tell you my total stats and what's my average damage overall, even with these losses or whatever was going on. And then at the end, I'll tell you my loadout, and then I will tell you everything what I think about the E100 at the end, closing thoughts, and then that's it. So let's begin with the entire week. So day one I call beginner's luck, because I've been doing very accurate shots. Matches were reaching over 4k average damage. Overall, it was a great feeling. I had my fun, it was amazing. Armor was very good if angled, and it was overall sweet. Day 2 was a reality check. Shots from everywhere. I was always rushed. I've been impatient, which means I've been doing a lot of mistakes. Shots missing, obvious shots missing, easy shots missing. Everything's been missing. Day 3 I called Inferno and Paradiso, which is hilarious. So basically what I've wrote here was good matches, still learning. Pre 3 p.m. because I've been playing before 3 p.m. and then I've done a long break till like 6:30 p.m. So pre 3 p.m. matches, misses every simple shot. Angling does not work. HE shots missing on obvious hit. Getting rushed, couldn't even kill a 44 HP XM with a simple HE shell. Cannot even do 1k damage. And it's funny because I was so tilted that I screenshotted it by accident, so you can see this fatality. I couldn't kill this guy because of the gun of the dead FV, I'm pretty sure, or whatever that tank is. And I hit its gun and I didn't kill him, and then I died and I accidentally screenshotted it. I didn't even know when. So then I've done a long break to simply collect my thoughts, and after 6:20 p.m. there are only around 5 losses and over 13 wins, a lot. 2.3k average damage per battle. Feeling satisfied. Gun is still the thing that sucks sometimes, and sometimes angling still doesn't work. You have to be turbo chaotic and wiggling to bounce shells. It sometimes gets annoying. It's doable. Accuracy sucks ass. You fight the gun and your enemy. Day 4 was actually a pretty good day. So basically, I've won 8 times and lost only twice. So it's like around 72% win rate. And yeah, it was 1 draw, which is basically a loss, which could have been a win because, well, I've wrote on my notes 4.8k. Fuck Cobra players. because the Cobra player was heshing the E100, who was 54 HP, and we lost because he killed him. We lost the points, actually. So, yeah, it was 2.4k average damage. So the average damage is rising. In my notes, I've said slightly mad, bit boring. I'm super mad at that Cobra player. Definitely something seems to be okay. Don't trust the gun with your life. Now, that was session 1 in day 4. In the session 2, it was way worse because it's been 5 wins and 7 losses. And the average damage has literally depleted to 1.8k, so it was pretty bad. Day 5 I called disappointment because I've won 5 times and lost 5 times, which was 50% VR, and average damage was 2k. Not much to say about that one. Day 6 I thought I must be bad because I won 6 times and lost 4. And it was 60% win rate and 2.1k average damage. Gun is still pretty shit. but in the 6th win, I finally know how to angle. Day 7, I thought, I'm just bad. You know, I won 5 times, lost 6, 47% win rate, but the average damage is way up, 2.690 average per battle. And then I realized, you know, I've been playing a Sheridan and I used the same equipment, which was basically calibrated, supercharger, and refined, because I wasn't using refined gun and definitely not supercharger. So I switched it. I think I was using, I don't know. But I switched it. So I gave myself extra 10 attempts. And this is where we got our first aces and first 1v1s actually winning with ease. So I've won 7 times, lost only 3, and average damage has still been the same, 2.642 average per battle, and 70% win rate. That change was definitely way better in equipment, and I regret not doing that earlier. Overall stats of the thing. So overall good. The equipment change was worth it. Gun is much more accurate. Overall stats, like total stats, is 57.14 win rate, 2.1k average damage. Not a lot, but you know, it is what it is. Overall feeling though, it's fun, different than other heavies, and not just boring hold down heavy gameplay. You actually have to do something. Right, so let's get to my loadout, shall we? This is where we should absolutely pay attention to, because in my opinion, this is where you make your games or break your games. This is where you miss or shoot accurately. So let's go. For consumables, I just use, multi-purpose. Of course, repair kit and adrenaline, right? It's classic. Provisions, chocolate bar, fuel, improved fuel, and chocolate bar. Well, chocolate and chocolate bar. I don't know, confusing. For ammo, well, it's 24 AP, 16 heat, and 10 HE. I mean, to each their own. Equipment, this is where it gets the most important, and actually pay attention to this, because this could make or break your game. So, for combat power, I basically have calibrated shells, because the reload is long enough, and, you also have to be very patient in the E100. So, the reload is like, you can get used to it. Supercharger, because, well, the velocity is faster, and also for some reason I was always missing with enhanced gun lane drive, so I just used supercharger. And refined gun is needed. You need that refined gun with supercharger. Don't even think about enhanced gun lane drive, because it doesn't work. Vitality, I have improved modules, which is, minus 40 damage when rammed. Enhanced armor, because to be honest, it when you angle it, it does have armor, even with premiums. And toolbox, which is plus 20 module repair. For the specialization, I don't know how to say that for some reason. I have improved optics, because why do I need camo net? Engine accelerator, and consumable delivery system, because I have no tungsten, so I don't really need to have, the high-end consumables. I can just have consumable delivery, and I have the repair kits faster. So now we get to my personal thoughts. Personal thoughts, I believe E100 is fun. That gun can slap the shit out of anybody, especially lights. Sometimes HE shells can miss, so keep this in mind. HE shells can sometimes flop and do only 300 damage. But when they do hit, oh man, it's an amazing feeling, because it goes from 990 something to even 1.1k, and if you max roll, I max rolled once, 1.3k HE. That's pretty damn good, Gun, it is kinda inaccurate. It definitely has flaws, like the accuracy has flaws. Refined gun and supercharger actually performs better. It aims shells way better, and it doesn't miss as often. Overall, though, if I was like, from this, I hope you learned something from this. So, I'm just gonna say that, like, rules for the E100. Like, when I realized and I was playing, definitely be patient as fuck. Don't go deep in the flank. Just actually, like, stay in a safe place. But, when you need to push, know when to push. and definitely learn how to angle. I think like that's the best thing you can learn in the E100 is learning how to angle, and I have that pretty well done. Keep in mind your track wheel is huge, so just so you know, people can shoot you for your track wheel. It's actually like that. So anyway, I guess a lot of people who play E100s actually don't know how to angle or don't know how to do this. I mean, usually like E100 is the best for side scraping. And you know, just whatever you do, don't like rush, because E100 is not a rushing tank. You don't have DPM at all. You don't have DPM at all. So just don't rush or nothing. Be safe, save your HP, and remember, do not bleed early, because if you bleed early, that is like the worst thing you can do in a heavy. Bleed early, because then you're absolutely gonna get smashed if there's like a 2v1 winnable situation and you're 700 HP. Yeah, good game. But if you're like over 1900, it's still doable, right? It's still winnable. I guess even when you're driving in crossings, or even when you're driving anywhere, remember to like angle your tank or turret, because you know, you're gonna have to do it. And you know, as a player who played this for like, you know, 7 days pretty much, if not, I don't know if more, but like definitely 7 days, I would just say, if you're a new player, like completely new player, who's like, I don't know, like completely new, don't even know nothing about heavies or nothing, whoever recommends the E100 as the first ever heavy, especially in this current time and meta, my guy, no, it is not a beginner's tank anymore. The beginner's heavy is a 60 TP or an E5, but that really depends if they can play. 60 TP would be the safest, or IS7. But E100 is not good hold down, obviously, because of the turret. It's mostly side scraping, and even in some maps, side scraping is very rare, and sometimes you can get owned completely. So just so you know, if you're a new player, don't think about grinding the E100 too much, all right? Just because yeah, it's not like the beginner's tank anymore. It's not a tank where you're a new player and you can grind the E100 line to learn heavies. No, that time has already passed. And matter of fact, it's been called a noob man's tank, because a lot of people who play E100s are absolutely oblivious to everything. You know, to everything. Like, sure, it's a different story when you're an E100 player and you do like, I don't know, one shot in, but you still try to angle and shit, and you are aware of stuff. It's just the enemy team just rushed you, or your team died all around you. That's a different story. But when you're an E100 player rushing in front of a flank like a dumbass for no reason, or just doing anything that's just stupid, or even camping. Yes, I've seen camping E100s in a bush. Yeah, I've seen too many of these things happening. Way too much. I would honestly still say that for new players, if you want to learn heavies, try 60 TP or IS7 line. E100 is not there. E100 is not there unless you know how to side scrape and you know how to angle. And the thing is, E100, I believe, is purely side scraping vehicle. It's not hold down per se. It's a pure side scraping monster mostly. For some maps, you know, I'm still thinking about doing this. Just in case, I will try my best to do it, to like record a video. But right now, I'll be honest, I'm kind of lazy. So I don't really want to do it. But if you want, if the comments demand this, I will basically make like a an E100 positioning tutorial on where to go, where you can utilize the side scraping position to the fullest extent. A bit aggressive, maybe a bit more passive, whatever happens, you know. If you want that video, tell me down below in the comments and I'll definitely do it. If you are thinking about getting an E100 and you want to already know where to position in some maps, because some maps are not obvious, well, tell me in the comments. But yeah, some maps are not obvious with their side scraping, right? And yeah, I think it's definitely fun because you can still push the map to its limits. There's so many rocks and so many weird positions where I actually have side scraped in places where I shouldn't have, and that's the most fun part. Tank itself maybe is not the meta per se, but it definitely holds its head against the meta. It holds itself. You can actually do things if you know how to maneuver and know what you're doing. But I think, yeah, before doing that, I would definitely recommend playing with different sort of side scraping heavies. People say VK36 is a good attempt at like lower tier side scraping. I'm not sure, but definitely try something lower tier. E100, it is a little bit. It is a bit like, you know, it's not like the thing that you should recommend to a new player. Whoever did recommend it to a new player, you should have fought a little bit harder, because a new player will have to learn angling like crazy. E75, probably not an issue, but the E100 absolutely will be, because you have to angle, you have to do this, you have to angle not only your turret, but your hull too. Or rather, well, the opposite. Not only your hull, but your turret also. Side scraping is probably the easiest. You also have to get used to, because there's two guns, and there's also, you know, that gun is, you know, like this. They probably also won't know how to use much of the equipment. And the equipment, this improved armor equipment, is actually changing the U100's angling capabilities with premium ammo. And many people won't actually know the equipment and its significance, to the point that they'll deduct which one is better. Because as a new player, you probably won't know what exactly things might change too much. You might be blindly just selecting the first thing that comes up, and you're like, whatever happens. Which does happen. I've seen many people, I think I had that experience once, where a player who played a light tank actually had enhanced armor on. Yes, not HP, armor. So some people actually don't even know, and that's the thing. Like, don't recommend the E100. Let them learn in either an IS-7 or a 60 TP. Don't recommend them the E100. E100 can be tricky. It's not the meta with, you know, the hold down and whatever. It's not the meta. It's not very crazy. It's fun if you're a good player or you know the game, but absolutely not if you are a new player, like fresh player, like your first ever tier 10 type thing. That's what I'm saying. Don't grind tier 10. I mean, don't grind E100 for that reason, because as I said, new player, 60 TP, IS-7, don't touch the E100 because you need to learn angling. And yeah, just so you know, okay? And so yeah, I think that's it overall about the E100. I don't know, I kind of like it. I was traumatized by the gun the most because I had the wrong equipment. When I switched to supercharger and refined gun, I had a way better experience. Shots went in, things actually were happening, you know, the shell velocity was faster obviously, and it was pretty good. I liked it after I switched, but you know, the angling sometimes works, sometimes I make some mistakes. Whatever, it is what it is, you know, you learn overall. For a week I still learned a lot, to be honest, but yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you kind of learned something from my video. I know it's not so descriptive, but you know, that's kind of all I had to say about it. Maybe you can also learn something from my replay, because granted, I'll put E100 replays on as I'm talking. So I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.